Hello everyone and welcome to Playing with Command Blocks, my first episode of this series since I have been back, and I'd like to introduce something pretty neat in my opinion. Basically, what we're going to do is when you kill a horse, make it a random chance that you'll get a skeleton horse back. And it's done pretty simply. If you can see over on the right side of my screen, there's a random horse counter. Okay, and it's just counting up for me over there. And the idea is that when it reaches a certain number or a certain point, or like a in between two numbers kind of thing, it will allow a skeletal horse to spawn. So in this case, it is when it's between 85 and 105. And you see I killed that a little early, close to 80, maybe 70 something. Didn't quite work. So we'll do it a little bit closer this time. No! And see, that one was a little bit after. We'll see how long this will take me. But basically, too early. No! It works, I promise. I promise. Give me a second. And I will show you. And it's really easy to do. There we are. And skeletal horse, because I killed it between 85 and 105. And it's super easy to do. As a matter of fact, would you believe me if I told you it's this little cube right here, or not even cube, I don't know, plus sign, 3D plus sign. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up a new world and show you how it's done. And welcome back everyone. Let us make our little horse skeleton thingamajig. Okay, so first things first, we got to make a clock. Okay, and it's a really fast clock that mainly command blocks only are able to register as a clock. Okay, the first thing you do is you make the bottom block of these two that I've placed. Okay, set air one block above it. Okay, then we're going to do something really similar on the top block, but instead we're going to make it place a redstone block underneath it. Okay. Then if I place this redstone block here, it will forever place it, and you have a really fast clock. Now this needs to be in spawn chunks. If it's not, it will stop when you leave the spawn, or leave the chunk that you have it in. Okay. So make sure to put this within your spawn chunks. Now, the next piece, we're going to be a little more stickler for direction. On the south side, we're going to place a block, and what we're going to do is make it to where it adds 1 to the random horse count. Okay, so scoreboard players add, and we're going to add it for all players whose score for random horse is less than 200, basically. Okay, we're just going to add 1. Now for this to work, we actually have to have a scoreboard object for that. So scoreboard objectives, can't spell, add ran horse. It's just a dummy variable, it's just a count. Random horse count. Okay? But we also need to keep track of how many horses have been killed, at least within that tick. So this one's a little more complicated because we actually have to track the horses' deaths for that player. So scoreboard objectives, add horse kill, stat dot kill entity dot entity horse, and this will count how many horse deaths the player has done. Okay, so this will add 1 now to that random horse variable that we did, but now we need to reset it back to 0 if it goes above 200 or reaches 200. So scoreboard players set for all players whose random horse variable is at least 200. We want to set it to 0. Okay, so now I'm going to add it to the sidebar. Objectives, set display, sidebar, ran horse. Okay, and it should be going up. Scoreboard players, add Aerophite, ran horse 1. Oops. 1. Okay, there we go. For some reason, it sometimes doesn't like to start the count right away, so you got to give it a little bit of a nudge, but it should be working now. Okay, so it's going, and you see how it went to 200 and reset back to 0. Okay, so now what we want to do is if between the counts of 85 and 105 you kill a horse, you want to spawn a skeleton horse. So on the west side of this, we're going to put the command that will actually summon the horse. And it's kind of confusing and really hard to explain, but I'm going to go through it real fast. So you're going to use the execute command, okay? And you're going to execute from whatever position this entity's at, right? Then you're going to execute another command from that entity, okay, whose horse kill minimum is equal to 1. So they've at least killed 1 horse, but that their random horse minimum, so there is 85. So they can't get any random or any horses, skeletal horses, until they at least reach the count of 85. Okay, but we also want to make sure that they can't get them unless it doesn't, or as long as it's between 85 and 105. So if it goes over 105 now, it won't count anymore. Okay. Then we take that with relative positioning and we summon an entity horse at that position of type 4. And the 4 is just meaning that you're summoning a skeletal horse. Okay, now this is cool, but if I kill a horse now, then between 85 and 105, I will basically just keep getting horses. So if I kill this horse now, okay, when that count reaches 85, I'm going to get spammed, okay, with skeletal horses. Now, it went above 105, so now, you know, it's not summoning anymore. But now the count started over, we reach 85, and once again get spammed again. Now, this is obviously not what we want, so what we need to do is get that kill count for the horses to reset back to 0. So, scoreboard, players set, for all players whose horse kill minimum is equal to 1, so they've killed at least 1 horse, set it back to 0. Okay, and now when it reaches 85, those horses won't spawn anymore. Okay, but if I kill a horse between 85 and 105, no, yep, there it goes, I get a skeletal horse. Now, obviously, that count up there won't be displayed all the time, and so therefore, nobody will know what count they are currently on, and so won't be able to tell when they're going to do skeletal horse, and so it will therefore be completely random as to whether they will get it or not. Okay, well that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions of other videos you want to see, or even if you know a way to make this better, let me know, please. So once again, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Later.